It's been a solid week of practice to this point. It's good to get back to our normal routine where we get a walkthrough on Thursday and have Friday to have another day to run through at a fast pace. Just to put the details on it, put the finishing touches on the week. It's our normal routine. Last week was a little different with COVID and with traveling in the early morning kickoff, so it's just a bit different. So it's good to be home. It's good to get back to a normal week. The guys have worked hard. Just like most teams, we got a lot to clean up, a lot to work on, and we've been dialed in this week and had a good week of practice, and we're going to need to go out and play better this week.
Okay, we will begin with questions, and first question is Lonnie Demery. Go ahead, Lonnie.
Mark, given the multiple offensive Lane Kiffin's going to bring to town with his Ole Miss Rebels, what kind of look has your defense given you this week in order to kind of duplicate some of the things that they do, and who are maybe some of the players that have stood out for you?
I think you mean the offense, Lonnie, I would assume.
Offense, yeah, the offense.
Yeah,
the
scout offense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, obviously it's very hard to simulate that type of tempo with your scout team. We've tried. We run two different huddles where we essentially have two scout teams and alternate plays. So that our defense needs to operate with a great sense of urgency as far as getting lined up, getting to our proper spots, and executing the defense. Getting lined up, getting the call, and then executing the defense. It takes great urgency, number one. So we've talked about that. We've tried to simulate as best we can, and then we've also gone against our offense, and that has helped us where. Each day we've gone full tempo against our offense for sets of 5 or 6 plays. That helps with both conditioning and also with a sense of urgency. So that's helped, but it's hard to simulate Ole Miss's plays at the speed that they go at.
All right. Right now I only have one more question in the queue, so if you want a question, you can get in. Josh Moore.
Hey, Mark, I'll ask you a couple questions if people don't want
to. Go ahead and walk around.
How does adding Joey into the mix shake up things there on the depth chart with quarterback? Is he ready? You think seeing him kind of being the backup, or is Bo kind of still stay in that spot, or is it kind of a game situation sort of call?
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. We will see. Bo has gotten the majority of the backup reps the past 2 weeks. Joey has still practiced and obviously has been running plays all camp and could step in, but we'll see. Just like any other position, we don't ever really talk about the backups at any other spot. We'll see how it goes. Terry is our starter. I'm excited about Terry. I know he'll continue to improve. He always has with reps and through the season, and he did some really good things in the opener, and we expect him to build on that, just like the rest of our team. We were very efficient and very good at times. We just need to be good for 60 minutes.
All right, Josh, did you have a follow-up?
Yeah, it's not really related to that, but you and Brad and Eddie, everybody's kind of brought up urgency a lot this week. And I think that obviously in kind of getting the plays and doing all that stuff, but as far as urgency goes and winning, do you feel any extra pressure this week to just avoid that 0-2 start, and does the staff feel that, or?
No, because you asked us if we feel any more. No, it's impossible to feel any more than we always do. We always have a great sense of urgency to win games. What we're talking about is you've heard me discuss it many times in the past. Everybody wants to win on Saturday. It's the urgency on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and so on to do everything we possibly can to put ourselves in a position to win. And that's what all the coaches are talking about. And that's what we're, the emphasis is there's no time for wasted reps, for wasted practices or any segment of practice. I mean, we've got to make the most of our time and do things right and get things corrected.
Larry Bob?
Mark, just kind of a little bit off the beaten path here, but just when your guys have been so good or so lucky or whatever so far with the COVID situation. The old guy here just kind of wonders maybe how proud you are. That must mean they're doing the right things when they're not around you to stay away from situations where they could be involved. And what does that just kind of tell you about them?
Yeah, it does mean a lot to me as well, Larry, and that's a great point. Knock on wood, we were 100% the other day with COVID, and hopefully we'll stay that way. I was one of the last things I just said to the team as we broke off. We have some brief meetings here after practice, but continue to make the sacrifices that they have. These players have worked extremely hard. It's important to them to go out there and compete and play. And I just encourage them to continue to make the sacrifices that they have to stay safe for themselves and their peers.
Okay, next question will be from Jeff Drummond.
Hey, Mark, I think you had mentioned earlier in the week that Bryce Oliver was kind of a day-to-day type situation. Do you think you're going to be able to have him back for this one?
Yeah, I think he'll be out there. Hopefully he'll feel 100%. He's been back at practice. He's close to 100%. So he'll be available, and it'll be a game time decision to see whether he's at 100% or not.
Next question is Nick Roush.
We've been asking about Joey, just his eligibility all preseason. What has he actually been doing on the practice field that you've seen from him?
Yeah, he's done a really good job. He's a very athletic guy, as you know. He's got a great presence about him. He's big and he's strong, and he's thrown the ball effectively. So, he's been out there working and competing with the rest of our guys.
Josh Moore.
I can't remember if it was Josh yesterday or Yusuf, but one of the two guys brought up Travis and Jatan. I know that distribution there is tough with already that backfield is kind of crowded, but are those guys stepping up? And do you just see any more freshmen, those guys or other guys kind of being a factor this week since it's at home?
I do. We got to continue to work some guys in the mix. I think you'll see that this week. I think you'll see Jared Casey get some reps. It's a redshirt freshman, but still freshman. You get him. Probably get Vito. We'll get some reps this week. He was doing good in camp, all camp Vito, but then he got an injury, kind of set him back just a touch before the opener. But Travis is a guy that I'd love to see get some touches. He's an explosive player. He could really go, and he could be a difference maker. You might possibly see him on some kick returns once or twice as well. See if we could get him a few touches, because I'd like to see him with the ball in his hands. He can go. And the same with Jatan. He's really practiced well. But as you mentioned, it's a crowded backfield. It seems like it's one of the first couple questions after each game about one of the three backs. And again, you guys already know how it's going to go. It's, that one of them is going to have the big day, and it all depends who has the explosive run, because our O-line does a really good job, and we're going to continue to pound the football. So sooner or later, one of those guys is going to rip off a big run, but they're all capable of it. And so we'll continue to rotate as many guys as we can.
Don Wong.
Mark, you lose the opener, and a little bit of humility is bound to settle in. And yet I know you still want the team to be boldly confident. How do you strike that balance? What's the mindset of the team going into the game this weekend?
Oh, there's no, our mindset is strong like it always is. We've faced adversity. Every team in the country will, whether it's in certain games or whether it's, throughout the season. We're used to it. We're going to continue to focus on us and worry about doing the work necessary today to put ourselves in a position to win. And that doesn't change. It's just like last week. I mean, our players have worked extremely hard to put ourselves in a position to do the things that we did. Sure, there's some plays we'd like to have over. There's certain segments of the game that we need to execute better, but the overall body of work, physically, our team was ready to play. We just got to continue to improve and minimize those mistakes.